How's everybody doing today? Fire away.
All right, well, Coach, welcome back. I know it's your third time back and fourth time now on staff with Greg. What is there something about this place? What was the allure and draw that when you got the phone call, you said, "Yeah, I'd like to come back"?
First of all, I'm ecstatic to be back. My wife jokes with me. It's kind of like a lost dog that finds his way home, and this really is home. Just a couple blocks over. My children spent a lot of their formative years. There's not a person in the football universe that I align myself more with than Greg Schiano. So it's been awesome to be back and very excited, and really excited the fact that we had a chance to get on the field today and put our pads on and start making incremental improvement towards the football season.
It's been 4 years, I think, between your two stints. It's probably felt like a century in terms of college football, all the changes that's happened.
Without a doubt.
How much has the job changed for you now that you've only been here for a few months, but how much have you noticed it's changed, and how have you changed in that time?
Yeah, well, first of all, college football is, we're moving forward. There's, NIL now, things of that nature. That was different than when I was here before, but I've had an opportunity to work for some really, great football coaches, Mike Elko, Coach James Franklin at Penn State. But, this place has always tugged on me and have a great relationship with Coach Schiano. So the job itself really isn't that different. The world of college football around us is, but, we have a lot of really smart people in this building to handle all the other stuff. And, I'm excited that I get a chance just to go coach our guys every day on defense and work towards improving this spring.
I know you worked with Zach Sparber previously. I guess what about him made you want to bring him here? And I guess how do you kind of envision working with him as co-defensive coordinators? I guess how do you guys kind of feed off each other?
Yeah, so number one, it's been really rewarding for me to watch Zach's development. He was a graduate assistant, worked with me with the linebackers at Duke. He's a New Jersey guy. We're very aligned on our football philosophy. We're very aligned on how to do things on and off the football field. Coach and I had a lot of conversations. He's a guy that fits perfectly with us here at Rutgers. Just in general, the whole staff, I think there's a lot of collaboration. There's things obviously that we want to work on and improve upon as we build the system this spring. But Zach's a big piece of that, as is the rest of the staff.
What would you say you could take from your stints at Duke and Penn State that help you now with your job here?
Yeah, I think every time you get a few more gray hairs in your beard, because I don't get them on my head anymore because I'm fighting it up. You and I are fighting the same battle there, but no offense taken, no offense. But the thing is, I think every day if you go out and try to get better, and have the right mentality, you're going to learn. It was great to be part of a playoff run. That's something that's our goal here, right? So different things like that. Got a chance to spend time with Mike at Duke, who's an excellent defensive mind. Gave me an opportunity to meet Zach, right? So I think every day if you have the right approach and you have an open mind and you look to learn, it helps you get better every day and ultimately puts you in a situation where you can be successful.
You look at the defense you inherit, a bunch of good returners and some impact transfers, but so many starters have graduated to the NFL now. How do you go about replacing all that productivity?
Great question. But that's that way every year, right? Like no matter what, you kind of, when a bowl game ends, you hit the reset button and it all starts over. And it just so happens that it starts over. We got a bunch of newcomers, whether it's been in the portal or guys coming in as first-year players, as new coaches. And I think that the thing about that is there's an excitement there, right? It's new for people, and it kind of changes it up for the people that have already been here. So I think the positive there is guys are already starting to get on the same page, and it was great to get out there today and actually put pads on and not run around in our underwear and get a chance to play a little bit of football, closer to what we want to be.
Coach, building off that, you guys got out there for the first time in a while. What are you kind of looking for in these early practices ahead of the spring game?
Yeah, great question. The biggest thing to me right now is, we're putting in a system. There's a lot of things that are the same. There's some things that are different. So how our guys are communicating together, how they're playing together, just basically how we're going to do things together, right? Because defensive football, it's unique to any sport, right? If you have one breakdown, if one guy doesn't do their job, 1 out of the 10 guys could do the job to the elite level. But if there's one guy that makes a mistake, chances are it's going to be a bad football play. So just watching our guys communicate, watching how they play together, how do they swarm the football together, those are the things that we're kind of taking away from the early practices.
We talk about a lot of young players, a lot of new faces on this defense, but also on this staff. It's a pretty young defensive staff you have. How do you draw upon your experience with, especially with so many new position coaches in new places, to kind of be able to assimilate and get on the same page with a young staff?
Well, I think the positive is there's a lot of guys that as a staff collectively we have a lot of overlap in background with. Zach I obviously knew from Duke. We hired Vic Hall, who came from Penn State. I think Vic's a tremendous young football coach. He's great at building relationships. He's going to be an excellent recruiter. He's going to do an awesome job with our stars and safeties. He's an excellent teacher. It's another thing that's kind of been rewarding for me is David Rowe had played here when I was here previously, as had Charlie Noonan. So it's been awesome to watch that development. So there's a lot of connections. And then a chance to meet Julian and Colin when I got here and sat down and met with them. And Zach and I met with them. And they fit exactly what we're looking for. So I really feel good about the cohesion of our staff. Everything's a collaboration right now as we move forward this spring. And we know we got to get better. And I think it's fun to do that when you do it with people. Another guy I'll mention on the staff, he's got a lot more gray hairs than I do, is Bob Frazier is our senior defensive assistant. So we have a lot of people in this building that I have a ton of respect for, including Coach Giano, that's what makes it fun, right? When you have you set out on a task and you do it with people you like, that's really what makes it enjoyable.
You came back for the first few days. Was there anything about the program that you noticed was different? Any start changes? Any improvements? Just what was the kind of things that stuck out to you that were different from your last time?
Yeah, there's an air in the building now. I mean that this place can be special, and that starts with Coach's vision. But it jumped out at me right away that everybody in that building is intentional about what they want to do and where they want this football program to go, and it sticks out, and that's awesome, and that's great to be a part of.
One area that Rutgers kind of struggled with last season was an inconsistent pass rush. And I know it's still early and you're still getting to know your personnel, but just looking at these guys on film and what you've seen, what do you feel like the potential could be?
I'll tell you what, pass rush, a lot of it gets pinpointed to the defensive line or how many blitzes you run. But when you really talk about pass rush, it's kind of what I alluded to earlier, right? It's that togetherness. It's all 11 guys doing their job. Hey, you can get a great pass rush because we're playing great coverage on the perimeter and the quarterback has to pat the ball and we make a move and we win. Or we do a great job with our disguise and now we have a pressure coming the other way and we can get a free blitzer, right? So there's a lot of different ways to create pass rush, but I think the big thing is as long as we communicate and as long as we work together, we certainly expect improvement in that area.
I'm just curious about the relationship between you and Zach, obviously being co-DCs. How do you think you guys complement each other, whether it's schematically or in your coaching styles and the way that all blend together?
Yeah,
on the field this year?
I think Zach, I think just like everybody else, I think Zach does a great job of equipping and inspiring young men. And I think when you have that talent in school, the talent and tool, it's easy to work with. And, really when we get in the room, it's everybody on the staff working together to kind of piece together the scheme and things like that nature. But I think Zach has a real talent for helping young men. He equips them and he inspires them, and they ultimately go on to do really cool things. And I think that's one of the things that makes him a special coach. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.